Hello everyone, welcome to your weekly tech update, the show that explores the newest, coolest, and craziest side of tech available on the interwebs. I am your tech director, Ray McNeil. Coming up on the program today, Snackoon is a new game that casts players as a hungry raccoon. The first bendable OLED gaming monitor has been announced by Corsair. Happening in this week's What The, people that seemingly are straight out of Idiocracy show us how not to use a gas can. And of course, we'll wrap up the program with this week's Moment of Joy. All that and a whole lot more coming up on today's edition of your weekly tech update. Next. Looking very similar in art style to the Untitled Goose Game, one surprise from GameCon's future game show was Snackoon. It's a new game that casts players as a hungry raccoon. It's being developed by Christian Sparks, otherwise a member of Hyperlight Drifter and Solar Ash developer Heart Machine. Sparks originally began the project as a hobby to occupy his time amid disruptions to work from the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. Since then, the game has entered fuller development and debuted with its first teaser trailer. Commenters online drew comparisons to Blue 12's Stray, a cyberpunk cat game. In Snackoon, players play as a hungry raccoon born with the misfortune to live in a city that has banned all snack food. Of course, prohibition tends to drive that which is prohibited underground rather than stop it. And the raccoon stumbles on a black market of cake and chip sales. Possessed of above average intelligence and an iron resolve, the raccoon must enter the black market to obtain the delectable goods. But the market demands goods for trade, and the raccoon will need to change from trash panda to bandit vermin, stealing items of value to trade in an elaborate series of deals. The final prize? A box of its favorite treats. Snackoon is an exploration and adventure game with a focus on stealth. It features a locomotion system that makes it easy to move through dense environments. Players will need to arrange trade deals and go between trading partners on a timer. To do that, they'll need to clear obstacles and packed environments efficiently, avoiding threats along the way. Devlogs from earlier August suggest that the game will employ a generative system to create NPCs dynamically as well. The game is built in Unreal Engine, but does not have target platforms at the current time. Snackoon is in development, but no definitive release window has been announced, and no platforms besides PC has been confirmed. SpaceX's latest Starship Super Heavy booster is back on the launch pad, this time with its full complement of 33 engines, and it's glorious. SpaceX placed the Super Heavy prototype known as Booster 7 onto its orbital launch mount at Starbase, the company's South Texas facility recently. The heavy lifting was done by Mechazilla, as SpaceX founder and CEO Elon Musk has dubbed Starbase's 469-foot-tall launch tower. Musk celebrated the milestone recently via Twitter, posting a photo of Booster 7 in Mechazilla's chopstick arms. Mechazilla loads Starship on Launchpad, the billionaire entrepreneur wrote. Booster 7 has been atop the launch mount before. Earlier this month, SpaceX conducted 2 static fire tests, with Booster 7 firing the vehicle up while it remained attached to the mount. Now, both of those tests, which occurred on August 9th and 11th respectively, lit up just a single Raptor engine. apparently a different one each time. And Booster 7 wasn't fully outfitted at the time, sporting just 20 of its 33 engines, the vast majority of which stayed dormant during the tests. After the August 11th test, SpaceX lifted the Super Heavy prototype off the mount and hauled it back to a processing bay at Starbase. Technicians installed the remaining 13 Raptors and got it ready for the recent move back to the pad. More static fire tests are in the offering, likely culminating in one that lights up all 33 of Booster 7's Raptors at once. Such work will help pave the way for a huge milestone that SpaceX aims to achieve in the next few months. However, they have been saying that for a while. They're pretty much waiting for FAA approval at this point, but the Starship hopes to have its first ever orbital test flight very, very soon. Oh, you knew it was going to happen eventually, but not the way that we thought, apparently. Ferris Bueller's Day Off is getting a spin-off movie that is reportedly in the works right now at Paramount+. The creators of Netflix's Karate Kid spin-off Cobra Kai are going to be involved with writer Bill Paisley, who wrote for Cobra Kai in Season 4, handling the script. The title of the Ferris Bueller spin-off will be Sam and Victor's Day Off, and will follow two now iconic bit characters from the original film, the unnamed valets who took Cameron's father's Ferrari on a wild joyride before bringing it back to Bueller and company, leaving them in quite a predicament. The valet characters in Ferris Bueller's Day Off were played by actor Richard Edson and Larry Jenkins. The latter died in 2019. Edson has steadily done smaller roles or one-offs in all sorts of TV and film projects, sometimes riffing on his Bueller role, and is still working. Obviously, the spin-off film will be using younger actors for the more expanded story of these two valets. Ferris Bueller's Day Off has been one of the rare iconic films of the 80s or 90s era to have escaped remakes and reboots. John Hughes and Matthew Broderick never jumped onto a sequel before the former passed away suddenly of a heart attack in 2009. The only real attempt to reboot the franchise was a Ferris Bueller TV series that Paramount Plus and NBC debuted in the summer of 1990. That show didn't even last a season before cancellation. But while some may see the headline and think this spin-off is going to be another terrible attempt to tap into the enduring legacy of Ferris Bueller, Cobra Kai makes a strong case for why optimism is okay in this case. Hurwitz, Schlossberg, and Harold took the 80s trappings and silly lore of the first Karate Kid and made it into a legitimately touching and funny remake of that era of films and those who starred in them, while also revitalizing the core Karate Kid mythology after several reboot attempts with different core characters that failed. If there is anyone that fans trust right now to expand the Ferris Bueller universe, which is now apparently a thing, and tell a good character story with both human and heart, it's those three. No release date for Sam and Victor's Day Off has been given as of yet.